Hi, besties.
What is up? What is up?
How are you? That's a Real Housewives of New Jersey joke for someone. There's like one crossover fan other than myself, I'm confident. Hello, nice to see you. It's post-draft. Welcome to Monday Night Besties. I'm Amanda. This is my
DC
fave
Hendricks.
bestie.
That's right. Back at it again. The new era of Monday Night Besties, along with the new era of Monday Night Raw. And with the new era, we got some brand new glasses on the great Amanda Savage. That is a great way to kick off the new era.
Oh, I'm so scared. Yeah. We said I wasn't gonna ask the chat, but they need to let me know because I don't want to be looking out here clowning in the streets, to be honest. So let me know. They're just readers. I just can't see very well without them. So I like to see your cutie faces. I like to see who's leaving the messages. So let me know if these are too ridiculous. We'll see what's going on. Great. Okay. Well, Jeffrey, I need very little validation in my life, Jeffrey. I need so little positive regard to be sustained. So thank you. That's basically, not sure I would go that far, but yes. Okay. All right. Let's go. Okay. Let's get to it, besties. This is not Glasses Chat. This is Monday Night Besties. We are talking about Monday Night Raw. It is our first time together since we've had the draft. This is the completed draft. This is now.
And you're still repping Cody Rhodes.
What?
I said you're still repping Cody Rhodes.
I realized, honestly, I just said that. I was like, I need to get more merch.
We gotta get Amanda some more merch.
This is the hoodie I wear when I'm riding, to be honest. This is my Cody Rhodes sweater. Yeah. So let me know in the chat. Let me know who Monday Night Glasses. Thank you. I appreciate you. Maybe that'll be my new thing. These are readers from Amazon.com. So we'll see how ridiculous it can get. Oops, pushed the wrong button. Let's see. Oh, good question. Maybe that's what needs to be next. That could be something that I need to look into. I need something that's a hoodie, some kind of sweater, because I get cold back here, basically, is the answer. Okay, so yeah, it's also our first time back together after Backlash. There's so much going on. What was your most best thing since we've spoken last?
Most best thing since we spoke last.
What a pain in the ass it is to talk to a therapist. Can you even imagine? I just really did the actual therapist-y thing. But I would never say most best, by the way. It's most best.
Honestly, Backlash to me was very predictable and it usually is anyway. Backlash is always very predictable. So Backlash wasn't that exciting for me. I was like celebrating a birthday that day. I think we talked about that.
Oh yeah. How did it go?
Yeah, it went great. Fun. So I didn't even get to watch Backlash until later Saturday night. So I tried to stay off the Twitters, the X, whatever you want to call it, so I didn't get any spoilers. But I don't know why I looked, but I ended up seeing everything that happened. So I still ended up going back and watching Backlash, and everything that happened, everything I expected to happen, happened. Very predictable pay-per-view. I think tonight's Monday Night Raw, though, picked up a lot of steam. I think it helped a lot in, starting the King of the Ring and Queen of the Ring tournaments. I think that was pretty much the theme for tonight's Monday Night Raw, is kickstarting that tournament, and also the new era of Monday Night Raw. A couple of debuts for new superstars from NXT, a show that we both love as well.
Yes.
So tons of wrestling tonight, which was different for Raw.
Yes, definitely. Let's see. What do we got going on over here? Yes, happy birthday, Princess CC. Again. So exciting. Very excited. The crowd won the night. That is true. The crowd was very exciting. I feel like their enthusiasm made a lot of the matches. I feel like it was like that last year too, with Backlash when it was in Puerto Rico. I feel like it was a little bit of the outcomes felt predictable, but it was the atmosphere that made it really fun. So yeah, I can understand that. Predictable doesn't always mean bad. I think the execution matters, right? So I think it was executed fairly well, but in a situation where where you weren't like invested in watching it live, I could see where it would be a potentially skippable premium bench. Yeah.
Yeah, I still went back and watched
That's
it
the
though.
hottest
It
take
was
I've ever said
still
out loud.
still great matches though.
Yeah,
Damian
it
Priest,
was.
Jey Uso, great matches. I mean, all great matches really. And like you guys said, the crowd is the biggest reason to tune in because that crowd in France was crazy. I watched that it's not really the press conference, but like the kickoff show before, and that was crazy. Like got me super hyped for it.
Yeah.
So I mean, that's pretty much, WWE as we know, when they go to those European countries, they're ready for the WWE to be there. So I think that was the biggest highlight from the pay-per-view. And you got to shout out, I know they're both on SmackDown, but Jade and Bianca winning the tag belts is, I mean, that's huge. That's huge for the company. It's huge for the division. And I think it's going to help elevate those titles a little bit. So a lot of positive, came out of the pay-per-view.
Definitely. There was a lot of good stuff there. It was, it was fun. The draft has had, I think I perhaps didn't realize the impact of the draft until we got to tonight. And I was like, oh, okay. Like, yeah, it's not, I wouldn't say it's that different, but it is, it's different. It's different.
I thought tonight's Raw, a big difference for me in tonight's Raw was the amount of wrestling. Like there was a lot more wrestling tonight than usual. We usually get a lot of promos, a lot of segments, a lot of backstage stuff, and tonight was all about the wrestling. Like there were a lot of matches and some great matches tonight. Like I was shocked for a 3-hour show, especially that tends to drag sometimes. Like there was a lot of wrestling tonight being the wrestling guy that I am, I enjoyed it. There were some great matches tonight. I mean, it's going to be hard. I know when we get to it and we talk about our favorite parts of tonight and our favorite matches, it's going to be hard because my favorite match, because I was thinking about it during the show, I'm like, it's already changed like 3 times since we started recording. There were some great matches tonight. So in the chats, let us know some of your favorite parts too. It's not just about us, but we want to know some of your favorite moments tonight on Raw, favorite matches, because tonight's Raw was a banger, as Sheamus would say.
It's true. It was a banger. I like this is a new chatter. I haven't seen your name before. Hello, Mike. Welcome to the Besties.
Hey.
I agree, actually. I think that it could completely be sustainable on its own thing. I do enjoy that idea. That's a good idea. Listen to Mike. Clip it. Send it to Triple H. I'm not going to, but someone else can.
That's right. Love that idea.
Yeah, that's a good one. Also, welcome to the Besties. Nice to see you. If there's anyone else who watches and hasn't chatted, please do just you don't even have to say anything. You don't have to have a profound thought. You can just throw some emojis in there. We just like to know who we're talking to because honestly, sometimes it feels kind of weird. Like, who am I talking to? There's numbers up here, but are they real? How many are really watching? How many just scrolled through on Twitter? How many of you just were on mute and made fun of my glasses for a minute and then left? I don't know. We'll find out. But you know what else we can do is that you can show your support. You can send your slamchats.com.
There it is. Let's go.
It's just slamchats.com. Why do I always mess it up? Slamchats.com. Support the team. Drop some dollars. You know what it is. You can definitely share, and subscribe to this. You can like this. It's free. You know what I mean? Right. It won't hurt. It doesn't hurt us. I know that. Tell a friend to tell a friend is the bottom line for Monday Night Besties. Because you know what my true goal is? I should have talked to him about this off air. I shouldn't be saying this right in this moment, but I'm going to anyway. My goal is that DC gets into SummerSlam, media credentialed. I want that for him, and I don't know what we need to do to get it. You know what I mean? I just think that we will.
I think we need to go as a duo, not just me. I think we both go. Monday Night Besties live from SummerSlam.
Besties live.
Yeah.
Besties live.
Besties live. It ain't just about me, Amanda. You know that.
Besties live. Okay, well, that's a good idea too.
See?
I would leave. I would leave this. These children can figure it out. Okay. I can have mommy's day off.
That's right. Come over to the Midwest.
the Midwest. I feel like no, I'm not gonna say that. I will actually. I think I get slightly cuter in the Midwest. I think I'm like a West Coast low, and then like I can creep into a medium range of attractiveness if I change states. That's what I think. Okay, this isn't about me. It'll derail quickly if this becomes Amanda's therapy session. Let me tell you a story. Besties Live. Oh my God, yes. I'll make a shirt. I'll make a shirt and buy them for you and send them to your houses. That's how dedicated to Besties Live I would be, girl. Like, let's talk about it. Get into it. Okay, so where were we before I derailed the show as per usual? DC should be at SummerSlam. That's my goal of his life, but now it's a duo goal, which I also appreciate. Bring me along to Besties Live. Yeah, I don't know where we're at, but let's just go to our favorite match because honestly, I just want to talk about the fact that I could see Gunther's fingers on Sheamus's body. And I used to really, I remember watching WWE back in the day. It was like a transitional period of fandom. I wouldn't say I watched it like every day at all. You know what I mean? It wasn't the way that I do things now at all. But I remember watching Sheamus's matches closely and feeling so convinced that he was covered in some kind of body makeup because there was no way that he could stay that pale because I thought, okay, he's exerting himself. He's getting sweat. Wouldn't he be getting some kind of peachiness to his skin? Wouldn't there be something changing here? Okay, tonight proved to me that perhaps he had just never been getting that ass beat before.
That's right.
And now tonight it was very real. And I saw a very different set of skin tones and shades appearing on Sheamus's body. That was a wild, but like wild in the best way. It was a wild match. That's the kind of level of like brutality that I can handle. I think when it exceeds that, I start to be like slightly uncomfortable, just my own personal taste, I guess. That didn't sound good. So yeah, what did you think about that match?
Yeah, I mean, a great way to end one in that Raw. I mean, a great and like storytelling too, right? So like, you know, remember the leg is what set Sheamus out the first time with Gunther in that feud. So a lot, and that's how the match ended, right? You know, with the single leg crab and you know, and that's what sets Raw apart, I think, you know, from the other shows is just the long-term storytelling. Once again, Triple H had this in mind. I'm sure that Sheamus and Gunther would be facing each other in the first round, help them kind of recapture that feud a little bit. And it was everything I expected it to be. Another banger in the books. It wasn't my favorite match, but it was definitely right up there. It was, like I said earlier, it was like, you know, my favorite matches changed a couple of times. But I just enjoyed the storytelling, you know, with the leg injury and, you know, and Sheamus looks great. I know he was getting shamed a lot when he first came back. You know, with this body, he was a little bit heavier than we're used to. And people were like cruel online, man. Like people will let you know. People will let you know online. I'll tell you, people hide behind those keyboards and say whatever they want to say behind those keyboards, boy, I tell you. But, you know, I think he's looking great now. You can tell he's, you know, working at it and trying to get back to the old Sheamus. His body's getting a little bit leaner and, you know, probably getting all these people off his back. And I think it showed in the match tonight. That was an absolute banger once again. And sign me up. Anytime you got Sheamus and Gunther going one-on-one, sign me up for it. I'm all for it.
There's just like a mild child mutiny going on outside of the door. So, yes, it was so good. I loved that match. That was a lot of fun. Why don't you tell me about what your favorite match of the night ended up being?
Yeah, so it was that one at first. Obviously, that being the main event. But I think my match of the night has to be Ricochet and Ilya Dragunov. So, and obviously, besides the match itself, and I'm sure a lot of people will agree that this is probably their favorite match as well. But for me, it was deeper than just the match itself. Obviously, it was great, but it was the ovation that Dragunov got. You know, first when he first comes out, the ovation he gets after the match, the respect he gets from Ricochet after the match. And for, being the NXT guy that I am and watching these people graduate, so to speak, quote unquote, and watch these people go to the main roster, to me, these are the moments that I live for, being a WWE fan, watching these people grow before our eyes. And we watched Ilya Dragunov. I mean, we all knew he was a star and what he's going to be, and he's just getting started. But that match with Ricochet tonight, to me, the match itself, the vibe from the crowd, the WWE Universe welcoming him on the main roster, to me, it was the complete package. And for me, it was the match of the night.
I loved how he felt like such a big deal right away.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I watched his entrance, and I love him from NXT, and I've been in it for a while, but I just kind of imagined in that moment, I thought, oh, this is some people's first time seeing him, because he's been kind of in a little bit of here and there, but really, like, this is our guy, that he's here. This is a big moment. And it was just such a nice welcome to the main roster. And that's not always been the case when folks get called up from NXT. They kind of come in a way that isn't necessarily true to what the spirit of what people fell in love with about them. So this was one of those that felt like a very seamless transition, similarly to Carmelo Hayes, which is from SmackDown, but it was very much a linear, this is the same character, this is the same story, sort of, to a degree, like this is the same person, which I really...
Plus, if anyone looked at the bracket, Amanda, and correct me if I'm wrong, someone, but we could very possibly get Ilya Gunther in the final.
Yes, which I think would be very, very good. My goodness. Yes, here, look, I think that is the case.
Yes.
Hopefully, yes, that will be good. I'm excited about that. Some other movements tonight. There was definitely some news from the women's division. It sounds like Asuka's out of, excuse me, of the Queen of the Ring tournament, and Dakota Kai took her place. So she took on Lyra Valkyria. Who did win? Lyra Valkyria ended up advancing in that one.
I was a little disappointed in her reaction from the crowd. I don't know if you kind of caught on to that, but like, I know they tried really hard to make her seem like a big deal too, and her coming out and saving Becky Lynch, obviously, from Damage Control, and Liv. I love that that whole segment, by the way, was great.
It was.
Liv to me won that segment. Liv is definitely improving on the mic. She definitely won that segment, in my opinion. But she leaves the ring and leaves Becky by herself. She's like, not my problem. This is your stuff. And Damage Control's getting ready to jump Becky. And then Lyra Valkyria, fellish Irish woman, comes out and helps Becky Lynch. And the crowd just had no reaction. Like, I was so upset. I was like, really? You guys don't know who Lyra Valkyria is? Yeah, you don't remember? And, I can't sit here. I can't sit here and expect everyone to know who she is. Everyone doesn't watch like we do, right? But she ended up winning the match, and after the match, got a little bit of an ovation after the match. So it all came together at the end, but was a little disappointed in their reaction at the beginning because it was supposed to be a big deal.
Yeah, it was definitely like this run out moment. She's kind of joining this good guy squad, and I think it's hard. When you don't necessarily have that foundation from NXT, but I feel like they've done a pretty good job of introducing her too. So that's a hard one. Some other ladies that were on the show that I feel like struggled with the crowd a little bit. Maybe the crowd just like wasn't feeling it with the ladies in general tonight. I don't know. But Zoe Stark and Ivy Nile was, I thought, a great match because I like both of them a great deal. I like their style. I think that they both have a very unique offense set that was fun to watch against each other. It's something that we've seen from NXT, but it was definitely like a fun combination to have on the main roster. But it didn't seem to make that, wasn't as impactful with the crowd, I would say. They were particularly more into it. And I just wonder, I don't know, it's kind of a circular thing. There's a lot of different reasons for that, but I enjoy Zoe Stark a great deal. I like her look. I thought tonight's look was super cute. Like, I think that she was looking a little bit softer, but I thought all of her stuff with Trish Stratus was really fun. I don't know. She kind of disappeared after that for a bit, so I could see where they're getting back into some footing with her. The crowd was sort of mild reactions with that and to Lyra Valkyria, where I was just like, oh, you don't. Okay, well,
Yeah, no, it's like, and I think a lot of that too is the booking. You know, I mean, we could sit here and say, oh, they should have put so and so with so and so, or so and so should have faced so and so. But I think that could have been part of it. Ivy Nile and Zoe Stark are both still, to a lot of people, freshly new. Like a lot of people didn't watch Zoe Stark in NXT. A lot of people didn't watch Ivy Nile in NXT, so they're still learning about them. And I think that could have been a big reason for the crowd's reaction in that match, because, like you said, you know, if you throw all that out the window, I mean, that match was still a good match. I mean, those two can wrestle. There's a reason why they're on the main roster and why they're in the tournament. They can wrestle. So I think, you know, I know they're trying. I just think, you know, we still need to move in a direction of, as much as possible, highlighting the women's division, which I think Raw did a pretty good job tonight. Like, Damage Control was on multiple segments tonight. Like, you know, you had Io Sky win her match earlier on in the night with Natalya. You know, they came out again, like I said, with the Liv Morgan, Becky Lynch. So they had a decent amount of time tonight, the women's division. So I'm hoping to just spread the love a little bit. Spread the love. Let's, you know, we know who Becky Lynch is by now, right? She's 7-time champion. We don't need to hear her talk every week about the same thing. So like, let's move along. And let's hear a little bit more from these other women superstars, so that way we know who they are, and that way when they come out, the crowd isn't dead.
And I'm going to make a provocative statement, and I want the chat to let me know. But I think that Liv Morgan tonight reminded me in the best possible way of MJF from AEW. And I was just like, ooh, that's a good pivot. Like, if there's anyone who can do it, it is actually her. And I just kind of felt like there was a little sparkle there of like, then when she was
the best I have ever heard her.
Yes.
Best promo.
And when she was back to back with Becky, there was like a sense of, for me, disappointment where I was like, oh, I thought she was going to be a heel. Like, I wanted to see her be pretty nasty. And then when she dug out on her, I was like, that's what I wanted. So I do think that there's that. I think that there'd be something also very interesting, just like societally, about the idea of a female version of that scumbag. Like, how does that work? Because I do think it works. And I do think that she could pull it off, because she is 100%. Already has that baseline of people that she's beloved by. But then there is this very real element of being kind of overlooked, kind of not necessarily given opportunities in the same way as these other bigger stars. But some of that, that like chip on the shoulder MJF, like pre-champion MJF, where he was still trying to assert himself as in the picture. I think Liv had a sparkle there tonight of a sass that I thought was very fun, and I hope they mine to the high heavens, because I think she could be great at being like that lovable evil. I don't know if lovable,
I think it was more than a sparkle. Like, to me, she was the highlight of the entire night.
She was like, really
I legit feel like Liv Morgan's promo was the best part of Raw. Like,
I don't disagree.
I really do, because like, she is someone, like, we literally booed the title off of her. And I don't mean us personally, but like us as the WWE universe, we literally booed the title off of her. Like, that's tough. And like, she wasn't believable, I guess, to a lot of people. And like, tonight, she legit sounded the part. Like, she played that part very, like, the perfect pauses and her cadence and saying, "You're welcome." Like, perfect. Like, Liv so to good. Me. Yeah, she mentioned tonight, she said exactly what I told you, reminded you. She wants to take everything from Rhea Ripley. Take everything.
And now I'm actually really happy that, I'm happy for him, because I'm sure people don't like to have surgeries, but I'm also happy that Dominic didn't have surgery and isn't like fully off TV, because his mustache is maybe the highlight of my life right now. It is so ridiculous. He looks so much like Gomez Adams. Like, it's getting into a wild degree of mustachery at this point. I need to know if he has a license for that mustache. Is it an unlicensed mustache? Because I don't think he has any approval from any government bodies to have that mustache.
His dad, what does dad say to him last? Dirty Sanchez?
Yeah, Dirty Sanchez. I need to know more.
It'd be your own people sometimes.
They were just sharing prison stories. Stop the rumors. That could be. Like that could be. Yeah, it's good. That's a good one. That is a good one. What time is it? Oh, well, send in your slamchats.com.
That's right.
Send me some money, okay?
That's right. We'll put it towards our SummerSlam fund.
Yes.
There we go. Actually, Amanda has to come a long way, so
we'll really sell you t-shirts. Don't think that I won't, because I will figure it out.
Besties Live hashtag started.
Besties Live. It's already happening. We can have a live event, Besties Live, in like a parking lot or something, though, like a tailgate.
Another thing too from tonight that, I mean, it's not really a negative or positive, but how are we feeling with the Judgment Day post Rhea? Like, I don't know how I feel. I've seen a lot of people complaining on Twitter, and like I haven't really developed an official opinion yet, but there's a lot of people complaining that they need to just end the Judgment Day. And it's like, you can't just end the Judgment Day. Like, they're too big. You can't just say, all right, they're done. Like, it can't just happen in 1 week. I'm sure that's where it's going, but like, I don't, because a lot of people were saying that they're just wasting the TV time with them. Yeah, there was a lot of complaints on Twitter, and I'm like, I don't really know how, I guess I lean more towards just playing the long game and just waiting it out and letting the story play out. But there's a lot of people saying that just end it now.
I can't figure out what's next for Damian Priest. Like, I guess who's next, like, for lack of a better question. And a natural who's next at some point in my mind would be Finn Balor. So it makes some light sense, but I don't think breaking them up right now, I don't think makes any narrative sense, because there hasn't been that significant of like a catalyst. And I do think that this new era of WWE, I do think there is probably a stronger commitment to seeing the storylines through than we've seen in the past. I think from my experience in covering the shows under like a Vince era versus now, those things did seem to change, and things could get dropped and pushed and like moved in a different way. And I don't see that happening in quite the same way. Like you'll get flexibility because of fan feedback, but I don't think we're just going to see it dropped. Like, it might expedite the already planned breakup that was meant for 9 months from now to 6 months from now. But I don't think anytime soon. Although, when I thought Dominic might be off television, I thought, like, okay, they might have to kind of just pull the trigger on something. So I wonder if maybe that's where, like, people maybe got their hopes up for that, and then when it didn't, it's not happening. They're more like disappointed.
Dom is still here.
Over.
Get him off my TV.
Yeah. That's a hard one. I think there's still stories left to be told there, but I also don't think that there is when there's factions, I rewatched that WWE Rivals last night of like, it was on TV, but like the Rock and the Triple H. And it was like, part of what made that so impactful was that it wasn't just the two of them on their own. It was faction against factions for a while. And I think that's something that is compelling with Judgment Day. And I also think, Jeffrey, I think there's like these pieces that you can pull it into different factions, kind of like having, but if we're just going to end up having the damn Judgment Day and LWO for the next, like, I don't.
That's where it feels like it's going.
This is the most genuine reaction I think I've like ever given on this show.
I'm with you 100%. Like,
I don't want that.
I'm over right now. I'm cool with them, like, every once in a while, like, digging at each other like they did last week.
Yeah.
I'm cool with that stuff, but like, I can't do anymore. I can't do anymore. Judgment Day, LWO. And it's a good thing because Damian Priest told Dom to get him out of here. Like,
right.
yeah,
So
he was
then
like,
I
get him
feel
out.
like that almost means that Dom will like splinter off. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know what's next for some of that because
I feel like
as I
Dom
was,
keeps trying to create his own team, like his own faction,
he does. He does.
and like it's not working.
It is not working. It's almost as if no one buys Dom as a leader.
Or he's trying to bring them into the Judgment Day, and he's going to realize I can just create my own team.
I mean, this is also true.
Yeah. So again, like that's why I'm waiting and letting it play out while everyone on Twitter is impatient and can't relax.
Yeah.
Right?
Relax your butts. Twitter.com. That's what I tell the kids. Relax your butt. I don't know why though.
Exactly.
Yeah, I never have hot takes. So I don't really, I tend to think things are for the most part okay. But that felt like someone just kicked me in the chest to think about maybe just like months and months of like, well, no, one of those, is it Cruz del Toro or Joaquin Wilde who just had surgery? I actually can't remember.
Yeah, I can't remember which one did. I thought it was Joaquin, but
well, I know they're one man down in that LWO. So I guess it would be like just some weird, like I don't want to watch combinations of Big Head and Finn Balor against just different. And I just don't.
Yeah, I can't do it anymore either. So I'm hoping that I'm letting it play out. We'll see. I'm hoping that Dom creates his own little group outside of the Judgment Day and creates some turmoil, and then Damian and Finn finally realizes Damian's holding him back, and then we get those two to face.
I do think that's the way to go.
We'll play the long game. We won't listen to Twitter today. We'll play the long game.
We won't listen to Twitter today or any day, really, because most of the time it's cuckoo birdery on there. Maybe that's why it was a bird app, because it's cuckoo birdery around that place. That's
boom. Drum rim shot.
That's a lot.
We got a triple threat
coming. Wrestling diss tracks. I do actually. Because let me tell you, part of these glasses is like I've been carrying around reading glasses. So every time a new diss track drops, I can read the lyrics on the screen and I know all the mean things they're saying about each other. But yeah, I wish that there should be more. Oh, Jeffrey told us Cruz del Toro is the one that is out. Thank you. Cruz del Toro is the one. Yeah. So, yeah, I did accidentally just fully call him Big Head. And then as it left my mouth, I realized I may have moved on, right? So Valhalla was the only one I ever said anything negative about, but now she's pregnant. She's not there. So she's literally can go be barefoot and pregnant somewhere. That sounds great to me. Yeah, I'm worried about my thoughts about Big Head because I've never cared for him and I don't know why. Like, I'm sure technically he's a great wrestler. Like, I don't know. There's something about, he looks like a foot. There's something about his face that drives me nuts, but I don't have a good.
You're quoting Kendrick Lamar too, huh? I hate your face. I hate everything about you.
I hate the
way you look. Hate your big head, JD McDonough.
Your big head, JD McDonough. And you know how complicated your name is to spell because I'm just dumb and can't ever spell it right, so I have to Google it every time.
His head does kind of look like he ate a gusher. Like, remember those like old commercials with the gushers and like they turn into the giant fruits? That poor guy. He plays along with it though. He likes it. He likes being the big league. I like JD McDonough. I liked him before. I liked him before the Judgment Day. I really did, especially in NXT. Like, he's a great wrestler.
He's a great wrestler.
They just got to give him some dubs. I don't think, has he won? Like,
no, I don't think so. And he's not presented at all the same way as NXT, because I remember in NXT there was like a whole undercurrent of like trying to sell him as almost like Patrick Bateman, like American Psycho, serial killer. Like, he was big on like almost like reading people, but like using psychology to read people. And it was kind of just like, I think that's why I didn't like him, because I thought it was creepy. And I was like, you're creepy. Like, but he was good at being creepy. So maybe that's why. And now he's much more goofy. Yeah. I still think of him as like this weirdo who's like, I'm going to strike your A-word up. Whatever, like that crap was. I feel like one of the times he was saying something in the thing that made me the most icked out by him was it was a trainer segment. He was in like the back. He was in the trainer's room and it was someone else. And he was like describing to them the medical situation behind what it was. And I was just like, you are weird. Like, you are weird. That's why I don't like big heads. Sorry. So but I don't want the smoke in life. Like, if I'm ever if Besties Live was face to face with Big Head, I'll be like, oh my God, you're my favorite wrestler. I won't. You know, I've never met a wrestler. Not one. Like, I
haven't met a main roster wrestler. I met tons of NXT wrestlers.
Really?
Yes, tons.
It needs to happen. We'll figure this.
Yeah, NXT superstars are really good at like coming up to the fans after the shows.
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah, and
I bet it's like so fun for them to a degree at that point.
Yes,
you know? Like, instead of like, oh my God, get away from me! I'm trying to just move from point A to point B.
I was actually recognized by one.
Really?
In the crowd. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, Wesley. He seen me in the front row. He came up to me right after.
Wow.
Yeah, Wesley's an awesome dude. I can't wait till he gets on. I can't wait. I'm so glad he's back. Bring him to Monday nights.
Oh my God, please.
We'll take him.
Oh my goodness.
I haven't met a main roster. Not a main roster wrestler.
No.
Not once. We'll change that. SummerSlam. We'll be interviewing them right here.
Exactly.
We'll be interviewing them.
We will be interviewing them.
On Besties Live.
Here's the thing about the Besties, you guys, is that you need to understand, you got to get on board this manifestation train, because you can really if you can dream it, you can do it. Okay. This is not even a joke.
Right.
There's also all those, the same ladies I always talk about with their Chick-fil-A and the Gatorades in the microwave, all those girls, they have said there's a full moon, I think today or tomorrow or some such, and it is very lucky. And it is a very good thing. And you're supposed to put a bottle of water in your window. And that's your moon water, Besties.
Okay.
And I don't know what you do with that. We'll figure out for next week. I'll keep watching the Instagram reels of these girls selling me the crystals and things. Because the algorithm knows I'm going through it. So they're like, you know what you need? Tarot card readers, crystals, spiritual conversations. Like, no, I don't need these things. I don't need them. What else is going on in the world, Besties? Moonwater. Yeah, I don't know.
I'm surprised no one in the chat posted about the triple threat that is coming up.
Yeah.
Sami Zayn, Big Bronson Reed, and Chad Gable.
We also didn't talk about CM Punk. Oh, we didn't talk about CM Punk.
Oh, we don't need to. That was the worst promo I've ever heard from CM Punk. That was horrible. I was trying to skip it for a reason because I wasn't trying to be negative, but it was awful. He could have said what he had to say in 2 minutes, and it was horrible. I wasn't feeling it. It was a whole lot of nothing. I was very disappointed in CM Punk tonight. I really was. Like,
that was your least best?
Yeah, that was for sure my least best tonight was CM Punk's promo. Yeah.
Him pulling up in that car let me flex my Camaro knowledge in my article, so that made me feel like I love this segment. I think what I liked I think maybe I got starstruck by the beginning of the segment because I did like the, like that same single shot thing. Like I enjoyed that where it was Drew stomping away, talking to Adam Pearce, leaving in like a very cool Batmobile style car, like a very cool, like the complete opposite cool guy car, right? So Drew drives off in like this cool guy car. And then here comes like old man cool guy pulls up in like an 80s Camaro. It's like a Z28 X28. I wrote it in my article. I know what it is. Z, right? Tell me in the chat in the world. Anyway, pulls up, gets out, but also walks past Chad Gable, who is kind of giving a hard time to the Alpha Academy. And he had like a funny kind of like, oh, chill out type of video. And then he also interacted with Brandy Redmond about the Maple Leafs. There was just like some fun interactions. I only really remembered it just then because he saw Chad Gable and he was still yelling at poor Maxine. What is he yelling at Maxine for? What do you want from them, Chad Gable?
She's an easy target right now until she finally has enough and she's going to like give him a low blow or something. And she's going to leave the Alpha Academy finally. And Otis is going to go with her.
I hope so. I actually really love Otis. Like, I don't know why we don't get more just Otis.
Yeah.
Personally, I think Otis has like a lot going on. Otis is funny. Like there's so many things there. Like Otis is an undercover gem, like an R-Truth, where you don't I think he doesn't get enough credit for how like he's great.
He's gonna have enough too. He's gonna have enough.
Yeah.
Yeah, the beginning of the end of the Alpha Academy for sure.
Yeah, I do think that that's coming to a close. I thought that they kind of already pulled the trigger. Like, I don't know why I assumed the Creed brothers were turning heel right away and joining Chad Gable. Like, perhaps they'll have something to do with this triple threat. So I know not everyone loves the triple threat. I suppose this is a decent way to do it. I think it would be a short reign for Sami Zayn, but I also kind of don't know what the point would be. I do think it's like I'm not someone who thinks things shouldn't hot potato, because like when I was really deep into wrestling when I was a teenager, it was a hot potato. You had title changes on TV.
All the
you didn't
time.
wait until pay-per-views for title changes. It was like things were moving. So I don't think it would like denigrate the Intercontinental title to have it go to someone that's already in an existing feud with the champion too, because this sort of like it's not out of the blue, just someone popping in to beat him up to take his title. Either one of those are people he's been feuding with in advance of even winning the title. So yeah, I think it probably makes the most narrative sense that Chad Gable win. I don't know if that's the direction they're going.
It's weird because like 2 weeks in a row, Bronson Reed is the one that's came out on top in their scuffles. Like both times. So I mean, a huge push for him, but I just don't see how him coming out as champ solidifies the championship. I'm with you. I think if it's either Sammy or Chad that gets the title in the triple threat, I could see Chad winning. I really could, and then maybe the Creed brothers help him, and that's their way of joining him.
That was sort of that's the path forward that I might see. And then you also can set up where like there's no, I don't know. You know who'd be a really cute faction leader?
Who?
Sami Zayn.
Mm.
With Maxine and Otis.
With Maxine?
I don't know. But like flip it, you know what I mean? So like Chad Gable, but because I was thinking like who would they start feuding with? But like, yeah, I don't know. That'd be pretty cute. I want a whole new character for Sami Zayn though. You know me. I already said that a while ago. I want him to be able to ground up like Uncle Howdy style, paint the portrait and make it whatever it is and just give it to us, and we decide that we love it when it's handed to us, because we don't need to I do think that are you into the QR code situation? Like, are you deep into that lore? Do you enjoy
I'm not super deep into it, but I always try to go on the Twitter world and see who is cracking the codes, because there's always detectives all over there that tell us exactly what we're looking for and why we're looking for it.
Yes.
So I think tonight Joe Gacy was spotted in the QR code.
Oh.
I seen someone zoom in and they tagged Joe Gacy, and it kind of looked like him a little bit. And the rumors over the past week, I don't know if you've seen, but there are rumors of a faction with Bo Dallas, Nikki Cross, Eric Rowan, Joe Gacy, and Dexter Lumis, and then Alexa Bliss, obviously, but a big faction forming. So it would make sense, and it would align with the rumors that came out this week. I'm all for it. Anything that involves Joe Gacy getting more TV time than he does now, I'm all for it.
Joe Gacy has so much to give. Joe Gacy's another one. You can kind of tell. I feel like Dijak also has a similar flair where you're like, I can tell that this is not just doing the moves to you. Like you care about this on a different level. And like, yeah, I definitely think Joe Gacy is someone that with a little bit more latitude could create really special like future moments. I think that combination of people is very special. So hopefully, I'm like
in terms of the call-ups, Amanda, we didn't get no Dijak tonight and no Kiana James.
We did not. Where are they? Are they in the no, not in the tournament either, huh? Because the
Nope.
Raw bracket's already. Huh.
Yeah.
For some reason, I've always thought Dijak was going to be in the
I
Wyatt
thought so too.
faction
I thought
because
so
we're
too.
from before, like when Bray came back at what was that? Extreme Rules? Was that the one?
Mm-hmm.
And there was like the tall guy. I don't know. Did they ever say who was in those outfits? I think they actually revealed who was in the outfits, but maybe not. I thought the big one was Dijak, that everyone thought was Grayson Waller. I always thought that for some reason, like this whole time, I've thought Dijak is in that faction. Like mentally, to me, he's in it, and I don't have a good reason for that. So we'll see. We shall see what happens, people. What else? I don't think I think we covered it. My least best. Yeah.
Yeah. What was your least best? Mine was definitely CM Punk, and then I will say not having Dijak and Kiana James showcased after being drafted either was a little disappointing for me. But obviously, I'm sure they'll be on next week.
I like that they have R-Truth and The Miz have the titles. Like, I like that. But I also think that they have to do something with that. Because, like, they were in a cute, like, little backstage thing with UConn coach tonight. But other than that, I think they have enough tag teams that are quite stacked. Actually, my actual least best thing was that Braun Strowman called Ricochet Kiddo. And I didn't Google it yet, but I'm fairly certain that Braun Strowman is younger than Ricochet. I'm not positive.
I'm checking it right now.
But
because I was literally thinking that when you said it.
And I was like, what?
Braun is 40.
Braun Strowman's 40 years old?
Yeah, he's older.
Braun Strowman is?
Braun's older.
How old is Ricochet?
Yeah, he's 35.
Braun Strowman's 40 years old?
Braun Strowman's 40.
Wow.
I thought Ricochet was a little bit closer in there. I thought it was a little bit closer gap, but because I was with you, I thought Ricochet was a little bit older, but still, 5 years isn't enough to call anyone kiddo.
No, you shouldn't be calling people kiddo.
Right,
like just kiddo in general. I was like, why the fuck? Don't send me on.
I don't like bullies, but I'm gonna call you kiddo because you're smaller than me.
I'm always gonna stand up for the little guy.
Yeah, I'm always gonna stand
little
up.
tyke. See
Go
you later,
kiddo.
Yeah, no, that was weird. That was my least best. And not because
your least best is way better than mine.
I just think that was like a very random moment that I thought like that's annoying. But yeah, okay, well there we go. That's wild. Who knew? Who knew these things? Yeah. I did not know. Is he still dating Raquel Rodriguez or what Gonzalez? I get their names mixed up. It was back before it was Gonzalez. Now it's Rodriguez, right? I don't know. I don't follow the backstage. Like, as much as I have to cover the stuff, I don't seek out to follow the backstage things.
Right.
So sometimes I get so confused. I'm not kidding you. For over a year, I thought that Grayson Waller and Indy Hartwell were, like, dating.
Oh,
and I think I, like, wrote it in an article, and my editor was like, they're not dating. And then also, Indy has, like, a wife. Like, they're not, like, I think, like, it's perhaps her fiance, but, like, it's not Grayson Waller, honey.
Right.
They just have the Australian connection. They're just besties. I've just seen them hanging out together is why. Oh, nah, they broke up, someone said. Oh, okay.
Jeez.
Okay, sorry. I'm not trying to bring up sensitive subjects for Braun Strowman and that necklace. I'm not gonna talk shit about Braun Strowman. Let's not, Amanda. Because let's not.
I can't protect you on that one. He's about twice my size, so.
Well, also, it's just, I'm sure he's a very nice person. I just also thought he was much younger. I don't know why I thought that man was like in his early 20s. I thought that was a young man.
Well, he's got a little bit of gray right here. You can see the gray coming in, so I knew he was getting up there.
Conan, who knew?
But yeah, your least best was a lot better than mine. You won that. I just was not a fan of CM Punk's promo. That's all.
I am just like a little bit shady, is why I myself
a lot better.
That's the thing is I'm not messy. Like myself, I'm very much a vault. If you tell me something, I do not repeat it. Like I don't like interpersonal gossip. Like I don't want things about people I know and things like that necessarily. But that type of like this far removed gossip was very fun because I do think that CM Punk is someone who is masterful at dropping like a little and then keeping it moving to the point that the people who want to be fixated on it and want to talk about him and speculate for days and days can do that. But that anybody else watching it, like my best friends who watch it, I don't think that there's no connection. Like she is not hearing like guillotine choke and thinking, they're talking about Jack Perry and All Out. Like, no, nobody cares about that. Like they're not thinking that at all. But
and double check Pat McAfee to make sure he was paying attention. Right, Pat?
Yeah, right. Exactly. Oh my God. So yeah, that was, I think the like a little bit of the pettiness was what I liked because I like him to be able to get some shots in. I still am very fascinated by that. I think the answer, we've talked about it before. I think the only answer for me is to debate myself regarding CM Punk. And I don't know how to like facilitate that. But I think the only person that I can comfortably argue with about that whole dynamic would be my own damn self. So I've got so many strong opinions. I'll just get in a fight with myself about what I think about CM Punk. There's a really cute Roots of Fight CM Punk sweatshirt that I have been considering getting because it's pink. So that might have to be. He's stuck with us. He's still here.
That's right.
He's still with us.
Still got CM Punk.
Yeah, I have a Cody shaped hole in my heart. Let's be real.
Yep, the Monday Night Raw era without Cody Rhodes has begun.
It has begun, and I'll figure out something else to do. I don't know. I'm trying to see what they're saying because they're teasing me. This is my favorite. No, okay, hold on. No, please. You know what? Okay, so scary. I have no.
Right.
I need to not. I have my sass has no teeth. All bark, no bite. That's why I don't really say anything. I also think that I can never do anything that any of the wrestlers can do. Like almost none of them. And so I feel I feel like I can't ever criticize. The only thing that I did recently feel like, I felt like slightly empowered, just like a teeny tiny bit, was that I did use the word, I was talked into being able to, like, I was trying to push back on it, but I ended up using the word botch in a headline. Because at Tangaloa, when he was trying to grab the referee, like from the outside, you can see the referee had to throw himself backwards.
Right. He had to help him.
Like he did help him. And it was so seamless and it was so perfect on television. I didn't even know. And I was like, I don't think that's like, I was kind of pushing back. And then I had this empowerment moment where I was like, wait a second. I can't do anything that the wrestlers can do. I can't do any other part of this. But if someone said, pull that man's leg right now, I could probably do that. Right. Oh, okay. I'm allowed to call it a botch because I could maybe do that. And it was like the only
I think didn't his head get caught on the...
No, I think it was when he was coming out. It seemed like, I think he had a towel over his head to make it more like mysterious. And I think that the towel got wrapped up in the ring apron part. And he had like this momentary where I think that split second of having to fix it and go forward was that same split second that he needed. Like, it's not really a botch, but I felt kind of like, finally, it's something that maybe I could have done. So I feel like
I can criticize you now.
What?
No, I'm saying that's how you felt. I can criticize that. I could do that.
I could do that. Yeah, it was like the only time that it's ever happened in writing anything about wrestling. So yeah, I wish everyone did that.
All Amanda's right. All her work. She does a great job. Wrestle Talk. Follow her. You'll find it all. WrestleTalk.com, right?
Yeah. Yeah. The other day, it was Amanda Supremacy. The whole page, one full page of the news was all things written by me. And I was so excited. And then there was like a Drew Gulak thing that came out. And then my boss did it. And I was like, rah! Amanda Supremacy ended. But yeah, for like an hour, it was Amanda Domination on the news page. And I was feeling so good about myself. Okay, let's see. What I mean, I've never thought of it that way.
That's true, but your opinion holds more value.
Yeah.
If you try to play instrument and then you can weigh on the song. It holds more value if you have experience with the instrument.
Yeah. My secret dream of life, and I don't know how to like make it happen, is I just want to do a ring entrance. I just want to know if I can do it. Not necessarily in front of people. I just want to know if I could even get in it. Like physically, could I climb up that without being scared out of my mind and like not even add any of the other layers? Just like physically in underpants. Can I get up there without like my beehole showing? Like, what? How do these girls do this? Like, literally, I just want to know.
Yeah.
I want to know if I could just get up there without.
We'll do our trial run at SummerSlam.
Yeah, that's Besties Live.
Besties
See if
Live.
Amanda can get in a ring without her beehole.
Besties Live. We'll go live right here. Amanda Savage going into the ring. Go
You
live
have to
right
pay
here.
extra if there's a wardrobe malfunction. I'll charge you more when you leave.
The stream just mysteriously end out of nowhere. And you'll all wonder why.
And then you'll find out I wasn't able to do it. Okay, besties, we've had so much fun. I feel like the besties are always coming through. I appreciate all of you besties.
Yes.
I do. Yes, always. Forever and again. I'll go listen to it again after this. I don't remember what we were talking about. I'm just pushing the buttons so everyone who made a comment gets on here because I really like it. Mike, I said hi to Mike Sweeney. There was a thumbs up in the Facebook. Terrence Jones, hello. Hide current comment. That's how I do this. Okay. So we've gotten to the time of the night. It's my little pep talk. I do actually think that we should all be goal diggers together. Goal diggers. Okay. This is a good time of year to set a goal. We're not even waiting until WrestleMania. What do you want to get accomplished by August? August is Summer Slam. It is right around the corner. And everybody can choose a goal. And you can take these tiny steps towards it. And you feel so good. And you feel so accomplished. So whatever your goal is, besties, I hope that you write it down with a piece of paper and a pen. Like an old lady like me. You got to sit there and actually do it with your hands of what you want to do. And then start plotting forward of how you're going to do it. And then you got to come back next week and tell me what it is. Because I really want us to be supporting each other and kind of working on something together. I think it'd be really fun. We can be goal diggers together, besties. We're all going through it. We're all having difficult times in life. But you are special. You are wonderful. You are so loved. You are so needed here on this planet Earth. And you always have a friend here in us. We are back next Monday. Come join us again, besties. We'll see if we can get more ridiculous glasses next week. What's hard about the glasses is then I can see better and I can see what I've looked like the whole time. And I'm like,
I'm supposed to be wearing mine, but I hate wearing them because I look like Devon Dudley. So I ain't doing it. Somebody will be commenting, get the tables. I'll get pissed off and then leave the stream.
Well, I'll try harder next week. Nobody called me Melina. Not like I take it personally or anything, but I'll try harder to be cute next time. So thanks so much, everyone. Thank you guys. We had so much fun. Appreciate you. Have a good week. We'll see you next week, besties.
Peace.